Indigenous peoples in Mindanao, Philippines have been defending their land against colonizers and corporations for generations. Recently, the Philippine government sponsored a speaking tour of supposed Indigenous leaders across the U.S. But who are they really speaking for? Let us look at the bigger context. In 2011, a leaked cable from the U.S. Embassy in Manila estimated that there are up to $1 trillion worth of untapped resources in the Philippines. The island of Mindanao holds half of the country's mineral wealth, including copper, gold, iron, and aluminum. There are also significant natural gas and oil deposits. And where are these minerals to be found? Right underneath the ancestral land of many indigenous communities. For generations, they have been organizing to stop mining, logging, and agribusiness corporations from taking over their land. They've built schools to teach the next generation how to read, write, and count so they won't be tricked into signing off their land. They learned better farming techniques to ensure that everyone in their village has healthy food to eat. They organized their communities to defend their land from corporations that want to cut down their forests and dig up their mountains. In these ways, they keep their indigenous culture alive, thriving, and moving forward. But their resistance has come at a high price. In 2017, Duterte declared martial law in Mindanao. Since then, more than 31 Lumad have been killed and 400,000 people have been forcibly displaced from their farms and homes. But this tour? It's sponsored by the Duterte government as part of an all-out propaganda campaign to justify intensifying attacks on the Lumad. The participants of this tour are members of the Philippine military-backed Mindanao Indigenous Peoples Council of Elders and Leaders, MIPCEL. Leaders of MIPCEL have signed agreements with the armed forces of the Philippines to carry out their counterinsurgency military operations. They help to form and recruit paramilitary forces that mimic traditional indigenous warrior groups. They force other indigenous communities to join. If they don't comply, they threaten to kill them. In 2015, 2 indigenous leaders and the executive director of a school were executed in front of the Manobo community in Lianga, Surigao del Sur. In 2017, Obelio Baiao, a 19-year-old student in one of the indigenous schools, was shot by paramilitaries as he walked home after harvesting his cornfield. As the tour made its rounds across the U.S., the Philippine Department of Education suspended the permits of 55 indigenous schools at the urging of MIPCEL. Aside from collaborating with the military, leaders of MIPCEL have also sold off Lumad ancestral land to corporations in the name of so-called development. Bayan USA, along with many other organizations across the United States, has been in solidarity with Lumad schools and communities for several years. We've sent school supplies and organized numerous trips to live with them in their communities and experience their conditions for ourselves. We've also brought Lumad representatives to the U.S. to share their plight with the international community. The UN Human Rights Council recently voted to investigate Duterte's drug war, and the U.S. Congress held a hearing on human rights in Southeast Asia, including the Philippines. The world is well aware that there is an authoritarian regime in the Philippines, but we must transform awareness into action. We cannot sit quietly while the situation in the Philippines continues to worsen and more lives are lost under Duterte's fascist rule. We will continue to bring to light the stories of the Lumad's genuine struggle to defend their ancestral land, even as the Duterte regime and its collaborators try to silence us with violence and intimidation.